help, man, I figure like this is probably the best GED program that I attended.
Kane is in the building.
According to their website, the mission of the Youth Empowerment Project is, by providing intensive case management, mentoring, and educational services to at-risk New Orleans youth, we will strengthen each young person's capacity to successfully connect with his or her family and community and lay the foundation for a healthy transition to adulthood. Our goal in visiting the Youth Empowerment Project was to see the motivations and issues facing these students.
One main person I see so much in my hair is Mr. Muhammad, man. Mr. Man, Mr. Brother Willie.
Yeah, it's a good guy.
Yeah, man, he like, cause 9 times out of 10, if I would have never ran into contact with him, I probably wouldn't even be sitting up and having this conversation with y'all the way I am right now. So I figure like, that's one of my heroes right here.
There's studies that come out on a regular, it appears, where they show how the zero tolerance level, the zero tolerance policy as it relates in schools is unfairly implemented when it comes to black males. So many of our students, they talk about how they were suspended for things that they felt that they shouldn't. And you even see how that relates to the schools that they came from.
Maybe along that same line, just what challenges have you faced in being where you are today?
Discrimination, a lot of challenges, because it's hard out here. It's a challenge finding a job, it's a challenge living life down here. It's a challenge struggling, poverty. It's just a challenge with everything. It's just life struggles. That's the challenge itself. That's one of the hardest challenges, getting through life. It can be easy, but it can be hard too.
Right.
It's just the influences that's in this world, man. That's the main challenges I face right there, the influence. Because you're going to run across them daily. And it's on you if you let that pull and take on you or not, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I can say. That's all the challenges that I see.
And when this situation took place and I was talking to them about the Trayvon Martin issue, I realized and looked like, man, it was almost, a lot of them had hoods on. They didn't have the hoods over their head, but they were wearing the hooded apparel. Right. And I thought about it like, man, should that make them suspicious? And as we know, the whole issue about this really is not about the hood, it's just the image of black males.
Sure.
And so in regards to that, I think it can make it challenging because you already have your own academic obstacles that they have to overcome, but to know that you can just be walking down the street and the police can just stop you because you're a black man walking in the neighborhood where they feel you don't fit.
I think specific to young women, a lot of young women who become pregnant in high school and end up having to either take time off, and so they fall behind with coursework, or they make the decision to drop out of school to have their child, and fully employed women find it really difficult to manage both motherhood and work. So you can imagine that a 16 or 17-year-old high school student has a difficult time striking that balance. And so, No Play is here kind of to be a more flexible solution for someone who wants to further their education and also take care of their child and has those additional needs or I guess stressors placed on their time.
So when students come to the program, they go through our orientation process in which they do all their testing and most of their just kind of general enrollment paperwork. And then they'll come to me, or at the beginning of the session it looks a little different, so they'll come to myself, Mr. Muhammad, and then Mr. Damien, who's a youth advocate with us, where the three of us will sit down and go through an intake procedure with them, which includes just some more sort of paperwork things, but there is an evaluation or questionnaire that's in there. It's not necessarily an evaluation because it doesn't necessarily draw conclusions or make any sort of formal assessments about any of the students. but it's basically just a lot of information gathering, kind of getting people's sort of background. Why did you end up in this GED program, and how can we best help you, and what sort of motivates you to come to this program. So really it's just assessing folks' motivations, and then there's a piece towards the end of it that sort of just very straightly addresses like what our program does, the aspects of our program meet or satisfy your motivations. So if you're here for court, or if you're here for, because your parents really want you to get your GED, or if you're coming here on your own. So just all those different things, or if you want to find a job, or you want to get off probation, or whatever is motivating you, sort of how can we best address those things with our existing programs. So
And so what motivated you? What did you want after graduation?
I'm just trying to get in college. That's why I really just, stopped playing around and just like, I really needed it. Cause I ain't trying to be old and get a GED, starting college all late. So that's why I had to really think about it.
Yeah. What about you, Carl? What motivated you to come to the program, to graduate? What was the thought afterwards for the future?
Basically go to college or something.
Yeah.
That's an ongoing process to the college and things. You never know what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, what motivated me to come really, because I wanted to do better for myself rather than just sitting around chilling, not doing nothing. I say 1 or 2 hours of doing that is better than just doing nothing all day, So I figure like if I focus on one thing and just get that done, then I'll be like putting myself on that progress to perfection, perfecting it, whatever it is I'm doing, So that's how I figure like. So for the most part of it, I figure like I improved more,
Right.
I want to own my own restaurant because, my occupation is a cook. I'm going to school to be a chef right now. Trying to take up this pastry arts and then the culinary. I'm trying to own my own restaurant, having me a family, probably be married. That's 10 years, so, most likely I probably won't be married or something, have children, own my own house, own my own business, my restaurant. I'll probably coach for somebody because that's my second thing. I want to be a coach for the NFL.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like Sean Payton, if the world lasts that long.
Right.
I want to be a coach. That's one of my dreams.
What about you, Carl?
I know I don't really I can't say so much as a career aspect of my life or business-wise, but I mean, one thing I want to go to school, at least get my doctorate degree. I don't care what field it in, I got to be a doctor, whatever it is I'm doing. So whatever I feel like, whatever subject I take up, I'm going to go all the way with it. Whatever I feel like I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, that's what I'm going to focus on, and I'm going to get my PhD in it. I figure like I need those letters in front of my name.
It's yours. Whose world is this? The world is yours. The world is yours. It's mine. Whose world is this? It's yours. It's mine. Whose world is this? The world is yours. The world is yours. It's mine. I sip the Dom P, watching Gandhi till I'm charged and writing in my book of rhymes all the words past the mark.